the biggest lasting impact that I'm already seeing, and I think it's only going to get stronger from the research that's being done and the community that's being made, is kids are getting diagnosed a lot sooner. And it's amazing because the sooner you get treatment, the sooner you feel better. You don't want this disease to progress too far. So doctors are getting educated, and we're really seeing that in these numbers. And we're also seeing it in the amount of people that are able to find CureJM. We're becoming more readily available. And I think that's huge because then their family has that support that the three of us had, which I personally feel like was one of the strongest things that really helped my family get through this, was having this community and having this support and finding these resources, and even just like having these friendships will impact me for the rest of my life. And so I'm really grateful for that. And so I think this research, we've seen that CureJM really puts our money where our mouths are, and like, they're doing what we want with it, and they're doing a lot with it. And so because I've seen that, I only want to continue to raise money. Like, they've only given me more reason to raise even more money in the future. And that's really exciting, that it's going exactly where I want it to.
Absolutely. And I think kind of, resonating with something you said too, the people who are out there, putting in the hard work and donating and making these, tremendous donations are just absolutely changing lives of just not only the patients, but I think, like you said, like families too. Cause I know when someone, has JM in one family, you saw that in the conference too, that the whole family was with them. And that's why we have a grandparents advocates council, and there's us and a parents advocates council. It's a family affair, and everyone's in it together. So it really is just making all the difference in everyone's lives.
And also, like, knowing, like you're saying about the donors, that it's going to people like us, you know what I mean? It's not like these big, like, these things are really impacting us. And as even just from this interview, we can see how excited it's making us. And this progress is so hopeful for the patients and the families. And that, I think, gives us the reason to like keep going and to keep going with it and just keep fundraising and everything. So I praise all the donors and everything for everything they've done, because we couldn't do it without them.
I think a really big thing is a lot of our kiddos report this loneliness at school or just in their natural environment because they don't have people that understand what they're going through. And so that's what CureJM provided me, was friendships and someone I could text. And these are people I would have never met in any other situation and maybe wouldn't have been friends with otherwise. And they've become my best friends. And so I think really making sure that these kids have a community and they know they're not alone and they know they're not totally different is huge. And I think taking care of mental health will impact physical health. And I think CureJM recognizes that, and they're putting a lot of work into that mental health piece. And so I just want to keep pushing that forward because I think it's a whole cycle. And so if we can keep working on that, we can make a really big difference in these kids' lives.
Just as Anna was saying too, is that mental health is just as important as physical health. So of course, all these drug trials are amazing, but just having CureJM to have each other and to have that support is so needed. And I'm totally going off Anna. When I even met her, that was my first JM friend, and it finally made me feel like I wasn't alone. And you could talk to so many other people about it, but no one quite gets it like another CureJM kid. Like, no one quite understands what you're going through. And I think that the support that CureJM and the community that it's brought to me and to so many other people is something that I'll forever cherish, and I hope that continues forever.
For sure. And kind of reflecting, I thought about this coming into this, what I would want for future generations and thinking back to myself at that time. And I think, I think I want happiness. I think I look back on a lot of that time, and I think I, could have been in a weird way and in a weird way happier if I, like you said, would have reached out to people and would have done things a little differently and felt more capable and confident. And I think life would have been a little different. And, I really hope that kids battling JM see that even though something hard is going on in your life right now, that doesn't mean that life can't be amazing and life isn't incredible, and you can't find the happiness still between those cracks and in the glimmers, you know, and that the world is yours still, you know, that this does not mean that this is the end, or, you know, this is going to stop you from achieving your goals, because you're going to come out so resilient, and, you know, just you're going to be an adult and have such a better perspective on life than most other adults your age, because of what you've been through. And that's kind of what I've found as an adult now in remission with JM. So I think when I was younger, again, I was very hesitant about what I participated in JM wise. I had gone to some camps when I was younger for arthritis, but weren't JM specific, and still kind of felt like an outcast. And that's, you know, I think it's important to realize that everyone copes with such a difficult thing in different ways. And I think I came out on top, and, you know, dealt with it, you know, with the support of my family and my friends. And, you know, I definitely don't look back and fault myself for any of it. But I think I look back and there are ways that I still was able to make a difference in my own individual way. I remember my mom was big in fundraising at her work. My family members would bring it to their work as well. We would go in and we would sell the different bands. My sisters went to a different school and they were able to do fundraisers on their own end. I remember way back, the Cure JM won a big donation from Pepsi, and we were advocating nonstop on all the social media platforms. So I think there's different ways. And, you know, I think, Anna, you mentioned earlier that you can get creative and still have that separation as well. But I think it does just give, it just gives you such a sense of fidelity and giving back, and you are making that change, which, you know, just does everything to make you feel healed as well, and to make you feel like you have control over what's going on. And we do, because look at everything that we've accomplished, and that's just showing that, you know, we're making a change, and it's coming, and you know, it's making all the difference. So I think that's kind of my personal example. I think we did what we could with the resources that in time that we had, you know, during that time, and also with what we could handle too. And I think that's, you know, it's like you said, you know, if you can just give a little, I think that makes a difference too. So please join us this season in coming together and helping us fundraise and coming together to support. Anything makes all the difference, and we are stronger in numbers.
Join us this holiday season in finding a cure for kids like us. You know, we're the ones living through it, and we appreciate everything or anything that you can bring to the table for us.
Please join us this holiday season in raising money so we can continue to fight for a cure.